good evening and welcome to the weekend news recap from Japura News by Japura Voice. I'm Dewmini Peiris. As Sri Lankans, we too are facing a serious crisis in the face of global epidemic. So it's very important that we must be self-controlled and fulfill our responsibilities properly to get out of this pandemic situation and move towards a normal lifestyle. So get the COVID vaccine immediately, following the main guidelines of wearing face masks, maintaining social distance, washing hands frequently, and minimizing public contact. Seek medical advices immediately if symptoms persist. Seek medical advice through the phone whenever you are unable to go to the hospital. And do not leave home unless it's highly necessary. We kindly remind you to make your full contribution as a duty and social responsibility to overcome this pandemic that the country is facing the face of increasing number of patients and deaths. With that reminder, let's take a look at the news headlines. A decision to start academic activities at universities in phases. Another revelation about COVID-19 vaccination by USA researchers. Pfizer as a booster vaccine to undergraduates. Senior Professor Sampath Amartunga receives the highest honor from the government of Japan. A report to President proposing to award MBBS at the age of 22. Now for news in detail. University Grants Commission has granted permission for reopening of universities for academic purposes from the 1st of November 2021. Senior Professor Sampath Amartunga, Chairman of UGC, has stated that the authority of deciding the reopening date has been vested with the relevant Vice Chancellors. Accordingly, permission to enter universities under the first phase of reopening has been granted for the students for whom 2 weeks have passed after completing both vaccinations. Hence, 25% of the students is scheduled to participate for academic activities in the first phase of reopening universities. Professor Neelika Malavige and Dr. Chandima Jivandara and researchers from Allergy Immunology and Cell Biology Unit, Department of Immunology and Molecular Medicine of University of Srijawardhanapura have been studying immune responses to different types of COVID-19 vaccines used in Sri Lanka. Accordingly, Professor Neelika Malavige said that the antibody responses declined in all age groups, especially in those who are more than 60 years after 12 weeks from the second dose, while T-cell responses persisted through this new study, which was carried out to determine the kinetics and persistence of immune responses following the Sinopharm by investigating the immune responses in a cohort of Sri Lankan individuals. Professor Malavige further stated that since the ACE2 receptor blocking antibodies was shown to significantly decline in all age groups and especially in the elderly, and it's important to carry out long-term efficacy studies to assess the warning of immunity and hospitalization and severe disease in order to decide on booster doses in different populations. Dr. Kavini Gunawardene, Director General of Health Services, said that the Pfizer vaccine will be given to undergraduates as a booster vaccine after receiving both doses of the Sinopharm vaccine. He further stated that if university students are late in getting the first 2 doses, it may take a longer period for them to get Pfizer vaccine. So he asked students to get the first 2 doses from the nearest university. Professor Sampath Amartunga, Chairman of the University Grants Commission, was confirmed the Order of the Rising Sun gold raised with neck ribbon on 14th October at the official residence of Ambassador Sugiyama Akira. The Order of the Rising Sun is the highest order conferred by the government of Japan in the name of His Majesty the Emperor on individuals who have made distinguished achievements in the international relations promotion of Japanese culture, among others. Also, senior professor Sampath Amaratunga founded the Faculty of Technology, which through close collaborations with numerous universities in Japan during his tenure as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Sri Jawadhanapura. The Government Medical Officers Association has submitted a report to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa on how changes can be made in education so that students can obtain a medical degree at the age of 22. Accordingly, the report under the title Conceptual Proposal for Optimizing the Graduate Age proposed to reduce primary and secondary education by 1 year to reduce delays in the commencement of A-level education and university education and to provide examination results within a month. Dr. Aniruddha Padeniya, President of the Government Medical Officers Association, has further stated that the extension of medical degrees to 27 and 28 years of age will deprive children of postgraduate opportunities as well as many other opportunities, and the loss will be 200,000 academic years. The Honorable Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardene recorded his affidavit on the registration of electors amendment bill, which was taken up for debate in Parliament on the 7th of October. The bill would allow those over the age of 18 to cast their vote expeditiously. Prior to this, under the Electoral Registration Act No. 44 of 1980, voters are registered as persons who have attained the age of 18 years on the 1st of June each year. The bill was introduced to avoid that situation. Accordingly, the Registration of Electors Amendment Act No. 22 of 2021 would come into effect from 13th of October. The Kuwait Fund for Arabic Economic Development has agreed to make a donation to initiate a medical faculty for the University of Moratuwa. Accordingly, Cabinet approval has been granted to the proposal made by the Minister of Finance, Mr. Basil Rajapaksa, to enter into the relevant agreement to obtain an amount of 10 million Kuwait dinar for the project. Foreign Minister Rajinee Peiris has called for stronger bilateral ties between Sri Lanka and Malaysia and for cooperation in the fields of digitization and education, as the Malay state had progressed well in those fields in the region when High Commissioner of Malaysia to Colombo, Tang Yang Thai, paid a courtesy call on him. The minister has commented Malaysia's education system and underlined the inadequacy of the infrastructure in higher education and technical education and the need to broaden the vocational training in Sri Lanka. High Commissioner Thai has expressed his desire to reenact partnerships between the countries in areas including the restoration of air connectivity to its fullest capacity and facilitate strong people-to-people interaction between the two countries. Leo Club of University of Sri Jawadhanapura and the Centennial Leo Club of Richmond College Galle have jointly organized a project called Callex. The main goal of this project is to create an opportunity to individuals who would like to learn programming languages. 3 courses will be conducted to cover the essential theories of C, Java, and Python, which are widely used as programming languages. At the end of the 3 months course, the participants will be evaluated and they will be provided an e-certificate of completion. The funds raised to this project will be donated to the patients of Melbourne Hospital in Galle who need to get the COVID-19 PCR test done. Details about the course fee and the registrations can be obtained via the link below. Winners of Haritha Viru 21 competition organized by the Green Hub of Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, University of Sri Jawadhanapura have been announced. Accordingly, Chamini Vithanage secured first place under Most Sustainable Green Activity category, while Yasara Dewasurendra and Amar Nilupuli secured second and third places respectively. Manisha Hemamali could achieve the first place under Most Popular Green Activity category, while Amar Nilupuli and Yasara Dewasurendra secured second and third places respectively. That's all the news we have this week. This is Japura News by Japura Voice, the university level brand of trusted news reporting. Take care and good night.